What's up, everybody? We're going to return to this commission here, this fighting frog guy here. Name is, I forgot, Louis the Stonefist or something like that. Louis Stonefist. Stonefist Louis. And we just got a couple pieces left in the sketch. I think this is the third pass of the sketch. And, well, roughly the third, because we're not doing like strict passes anymore. We are now doing the thing where we take the eraser and sort of clear it out, lighten it up, and then do the next pass from there. So it's going to be more adaptable as I keep going in the future, but as of right now, it's like looking like each one is a pretty solid pass. And I'm talking about the iteration process with these artworks. I've developed a workflow that I'm pretty comfortable with, where I make a fast sketch, lay the composition in, and then take an airbrush eraser, lighten it, make adjustments, and then just kind of repeat that. And the digital art evolves as it goes. Now, it's interesting because, when we're thinking about like doing things, because I come from a traditional artist background, there's going to be a lot of artists in the future that come from only digital art, and I think that's fine. I think it's fine. They can master color theory, within those, within the digital space only, without having to worry about mastering mixing paint. They can think about how to use color blending tools within the different mediums. And what I mean by that is like, okay, so a lot of them come from Photoshop, but each one, because I've used Photoshop, I've used Krita, I've used Procreate now. I've used OpenTool Sci, I've used Ibis Paint just a little bit. I've used Clip Studio. Each one is kind of like a medium. It's like each one has different brushes within the medium, but each program has its own, nuances. And there's going to be a lot of kids growing up within the digital medium only, and it could be supplemental for them to want to do sculpture and to do pencil drawing and paint. It could be fundamental for them, but it might not be necessary. Of course, a well-rounded approach can be for some people, and then a very niche, like expert approach to doing only one type of media could be another approach. So let me move these toes up here, because this one is like, he's curving them up a little bit. And let me compress these toes a little bit too. Let me compress them, because that foot is going to be angled a little bit higher. Yeah, something like this. Okay. So as I was saying, I've been adjusting my own approach, and it's a very digital art-like approach. Like when I'm drawing on a piece of paper in the past, I might take my eraser and try to make as many adjustments as possible before going into the ink. So it's kind of the same thing here, where the pencil part is very, very malleable. I really like charcoal because of this, and painters might really like oil paints because of this, because things are malleable. Whereas with acrylic paint, or if you're just using markers and pens, you can't go back. You have to work on top of your mistake, but you can't go back and adjust the mistake. So I just finished the feet there, and I'm wondering, should I do another pencil pass, or should I go switch mediums now, medium within a medium, and switch to my inking tool, which I think I will, Opus Inker 2. And for this part, I think I will go into a new layer. I like having a solid ink layer, so for this part, instead of making a full adjustment, we're going to go into a new layer and make something on top of the sketch. So this is the normal way of going into line art from sketch. Now at this point, I can zoom in here, and you know what? My line art quality is quite good, I think, in the way that I do it. But it's only if I can trust that the sketch is really good. So at this point, I'm trusting my sketch. I'm getting in there and getting into the intricate details. It's like making a pot or something. I'm going to change my eraser as well. Change my eraser to Inker 1. It's like I make the big shape of a glass or a pot, and then I start like putting in little designs. So with this part, I can really take my sweet time the line art. Now, I've made good time so far in this piece. I think because it's not a humanoid figure, I'm not too worried about the supreme accuracy of the anatomy. And even then, I think when I draw normal people, I tend to over worry about those things. But since it's a frog-like guy, I got it, you know, kind of imitating the features of the frog references that I had, and then just kind of making something that looks right, and then moving forward from there. So now I'm just gonna kind of let my pen move. So this part, I mean, actually takes a lot less concentration than the sketch part, and I can really slow down and just make these lines look really nice. Going to be thinking about line weight, going to be thinking about shadow, and I do think sort of bold black shadows are going to work well with a character like this. This character is kind of gritty. I don't really need like really nice smooth curves. I think having sort of these angular gritty strokes is going to look good for him, and I like that style a lot. I used to see it a lot when people draw like Ninja Turtles or Batman or Venom. You know, when I would follow a lot of comic artists on DeviantArt. DeviantArt is quite a throwback. Okay. Just gonna do some hatching, a little bit of hatching here. Give them a little bit of a humanoid jawline. Frog kind of just, their heads just kind of come out of their necks. They don't have much of a separation between the neck to the jawline. Now, this character does have scars, so let's add in a couple pretty well-defined lines over here to make scars. So one in his face, and a little bit of more scratches like right here. That's what I drew. So we get the nice eye with a little bit of shaping around the lower lid to make him look a little older. This character is a father with one daughter. Forgot her name already, but he writes to her on his adventures as a mercenary, muscle for hire, and on his space travel. So there is space travel in this story. Now, I don't know how I'm going to express that in the clothing, but as I get to the clothing, we'll sort of see, and maybe we might be able to work it in as we go. But I mean, he's a sailor, and sailing space in this story is kind of like sailing the open seas on Earth. You kind of get that vibe. Right now, space travel has its own vibe in real life, but maybe one day as it evolves, it may, you know, sort of take that form in the future. Who knows? Where it's a little bit more, you know, wild frontier, independent pirate kind of exploration. It may, you know, once people get more comfortable with space, because maybe in the distant past you had your, you know, nationally funded exploration expeditions, but then eventually you had these free guys who became pirates, because they sort of realized that on the open seas they can live above the law, outside of the law, according to their own rules. And that's the whole fascination with piracy, spawning the legends of Blackbeard and a comic like One Piece. I've sort of gotten over One Piece. I mean, I think it's a great story, obviously, but I don't have time for it anymore. Not the most healthy thing in my life right now to be reading hours of manga. And you know, some people are able to. Oh, here it comes. Here's Uber. So I will be back and sort of update you guys on that. But yeah, we're just working. So we're gonna keep working on Uber, and we'll be back to this commission in a little bit. Talk to you guys later. God bless. Bye bye.